Is that working? Can you hear me? Somebody just respond back and just let me know if you can hear me. And I'm not even sure. Let me see. I'm trying to go through. Oh, how about now? Because now I'm going through my headset, so I'm hoping that works. Okay, sorry about that. Patrick and I went a little long. We were trying to figure out that, I mean, kind of a sensitive topic, but we really want to. I feel like we've just developed such a community of love and sewing, and I just had so much support when I was going through what I was going through. And we just wanted to see if we could share that with other people because sometimes it just makes all the difference in the world. But, anyways, we'll see what everyone replies back and then we'll just go from there. And we're going to be working on, and I was just looking at this, like I've never noticed, hang on, never noticed this before. How do I get my autofocus to not be locked? Oh, hang on. Okay, is this going to be my challenge of the day? I need Patrick. What's this? EV, orientation. Hang on just a second. What's WB? Nope. All right, I might have to be like it's hitting the autofocus on. All right, I always like am happy when I'm able to get on, but then I focus with I struggle with the technology. So we're going to start out with these blocks right here. This is going to be the two snowflakes. I was looking at Miss Kimberly Watson's been stitching, and I saw her using her hoop and she was loading it up with lots of different designs. So don't forget, you can always go to a big size. Like you could use your 7 by 12 and you could put multiple designs, like whatever you have. It looked like she was using a real big one. I don't know if she was using the 9.5 by 14 or the 10.5 by 16, but I mean, you can fit lots of different sizes in there. The only thing that you can't do is if you're putting the design on top of the background quilting is you can't color group because it's going to count those two designs as layered and you can't have designs that are overlapping. So it's going to say that they're overlapping. So I have my 5 by 7 right here and I'm looking for my magnets. Where are you, magnets? Okay, they're right behind. And I was just going to do these one at a time. I thought, let's just make it easy peasy and just take our time. But these designs are, here's the spreadsheet. So the snowflakes. Oh, well, look. 2 at a time in a 5 by 7 or bigger. Oh, these are like itty bitty. These are like super, super sonic tiny. They're 2 by 2. So 2.5 by 2.5. It's going to be a little big to go. They'll be touching in your 5 by 7. They'll be touching this way. So you'll have to kind of scoot it down. I'm going to do it in my 7 by 12, and I'm just going to do them on the very top is what I'm going to do. And then I'll leave that fabric hooped, and then we can load a different design so we won't have to re-hoop. I'm glad I put that in there because I was thinking those were 5 by 7. So these are left over from before, and I just had a big piece that I was just playing with. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out. I'm going to scoot this up, and then I'll do my 2 snowflakes on the top, and then we'll do something down below. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is working on Quilty Christmas or working on something else. Finishing up you guys are getting me with the Hello Sunshine. because I got to get that done. My room is an endless pit of UFOs. It's unacceptable. I don't know what else to tell you, ladies. I can't think about it or else it'll make me feel bad about about myself. So I'm leaving this on. What you have to be careful of leaving the embroidery on allows you to use every last bit because you're just rehooping as close as you can. It also is risky because you guys have seen me accidentally leave an embroidery on and have it turn under. You've seen that. So that's the thing you have to be careful of. You can always look here. It tells you which magnets you need, so I need the little ones. And I like to have like about 1/4 of an inch hanging out from underneath because that's the closest you can you could probably go 1/2 inch, but I'm going to scoot it up a little bit. Something like that. I like a little bit hanging out from underneath. And then I like to just kind of hold it down here. Ah, Kim, do you have a lot of UFOs too? Honestly, okay, I don't want to use this as an excuse, but I work a lot. And then the other day I was in here going, well, I finished something when I can start something new. I do. I love starting a new project. And I think I get sidetracked and I don't like doing the binding, the layering, uh, the borders. And so that stops me. And the other thing that stops me is when I get into something else. You know how you're in a mode and you're like, it's, I guess I have to be back in the mood to work on that. And sometimes I'm just not. Um, so I need to regroup and I need to get my act together. And I will. At least that's what I tell myself. But I will. It's like time for me. But I feel like I'm going to have more time this fall. It's been busy. Busy, busy, busy. So this fall's going to be the right time. Okay, I'm going to just make sure this stuff is all out of the way. I'm not cutting it off yet because I have it to the left and to the right. So I have to be careful of the stuff up there. And I always tell people, fluff your fabric. Like when you put it back on, if you have other embroideries there, just fluff it and make sure there's nothing down below. And I am definitely going to heed that advice today. So let's get started off with the little snowflakes. Let me grab my fabric. I just abbreviated it QW. And I just put them in little pouches. I know some of you are finishers. Look at Kat limits herself to 3. I limit myself I get really excited to do projects and come up with classes, and I limit myself to 2 or 3 that I'm going to be working on because otherwise nothing gets put out. Snowflakes. So this is ornaments, snowflakes small. Here's my 2. So I'm going to grab this right here. And let's go ahead and slide it on the machine. Fluff your fabric if you're leaving on the roll or you're using muslin. I actually still have my walking foot on here because the last thing I did was stitching in the ditch for sending holiday wishes. Is that what it's called? So let's go ahead and change out. I had some people ask me about this door on the unique furniture right here. And I've been using mine like this. Isn't that great? I don't know if you can even see it. It looks really dark, doesn't it? There. That doesn't help either. Why is it so dark? But now everything is here where I can find it and I'm not digging through all my stuff. So let's go ahead. My thing says, and I can't call Patrick because I'm on the phone, but it's saying autofocus locked, and honestly, I don't know how to fix that. I don't know. Hang on one second. Microphone, flash. Nope, we don't need that. What's ISO? ISO, and then timer. And I don't know what any of these are, but none of these seem to be what I need. So just remind me, if it's not in focus, I'm just going to be hitting the button to just refocus. I'm going to put my embroidery foot on. And this is the screwdriver to have. I mean, this is the best. It fits on the screw right here for your, there. And instead of you, so hand tighten and then take this and tighten a little bit more. And literally, I probably went like that. That was it. But that's enough. It just shouldn't be loose enough for you to undo by hand. If it is loose enough for you to undo by hand, at some point it's going to shake off while you're embroidering, and it's going to scare you, and then your needle's going to hit the foot, and then you're going to get even more scared. I have an Android, and it used to autofocus, so I don't know what is happening right now. And I have to ask Patrick. He's my IT guy. And normally I would call him. I am one of those people that gave up the home phone. And then, like, 3 months later, I was like, Patrick, please, I need it. I just love having a landline. I don't know. I know it's old school and a lot of people just give it up. I'm fluffing my fabric to make sure nothing is in the way. And I do use muslin, and people always ask, why do you use muslin? And I use it because I like the way it feels. I like how pliable it is. It's not as plasticky as the no-show mesh. And it is not the right thing to use for all your projects, but when you're doing a Kimberbell quilt and you're working with batting and you're working with a background fabric that has shape flex on it, then I just call this my base, because that's all you need. You have enough stabilizer with all the rest of the layers. There's other projects where I do use no-show mesh because this does not stable. It's not a good, just like one piece of fabric on top of here, even though I do that sometimes too. I like it because you can press it out as well. You can't always press out your no-show mesh, and I've heard that no-show mesh, some brands melt as well, and this isn't going to melt. Okay, let's load our design. I bought a laptop stand, and it was so great. I brought it to the store, and I got another one, and it should have been here yesterday. Okay, let's go to our pocket. Oh, and I was doing a video. I did a video with your thumbnails. If you have the, oh yeah, I'll just make it small like that. If you have a Luminara Solaris, you can pinch or pull your thumbnails. And your thumbnails for selecting your stuff like this, I can pinch or pull them. There's my background quilting folder. And then the one that we're doing right now, if you refer to your spreadsheet, if you don't want to, that is dark too. Okay, I don't know how to fix that. Let's see. Oh! I'm playing with buttons I've never touched before. Cat, I just did the ISO. Is that what I want to do to make this brighter? I have never had to adjust anything, so I'm kind of at a loss as to, I don't know what WB is either. Nope, I'll turn that off. Okay. It is my, I'm so sorry, guys. Here we go. Snowflakes. So we want Christmas 16 2x2 horizontal. And I feel like I need to log off and back on again. Kat, do you know what I need to do? I don't know if you've ever done it, but Kat's like the resident IT girl. I'm on Arian, and it won't autofocus. But I would recommend the recording quality to the max your phone will do. All right. I'll do that later because I'm not really sure how to do that. I struggle with technology. So I'm going to go in here. We're going to do Christmas 16. And then 2x2 horizontal. So I'm going to go into my embroidery designs. I'm PES. And if you can't see those, let me make my thumbnails a little bit bigger. And here's my 2x2 with that cutie patootie heart. Trick is, Let me look at my settings. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and set that. And I'm going to be using the 7 by 12 hoops. So you always want to choose your hoop size. So you're just not guessing how far up you can go. So I'm going to go to my settings. I already have my 7 by 12 selected. And so I'm going to take this. Well, don't move them yet. We're going to go ahead and put the design on there. So it's the snowflake design. So I'm going to go ahead and go add. I'm going to go back into my folders. And I have the Quilty Christmas folder. I think you're good at the moment. I'm just going to have to keep touching my screen for it to focus. So I have a PES folder that has all the designs, and we are doing Quilty Wishes. Can you believe we're on the third one? And I did finish the first, not the second, because I have to add the embellishments. We're doing this little snowflake right here. And we're going to go ahead and set it. And now I'm going to take that and I'm going to move it up. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color group this. You can't do this on all the machines, but I'm not color group. I'm going to go ahead and group it, and that way I can make a copy, and I'll make a copy of the whole thing. So let's group it. This is going to be your grouping button right there. Now it turns it all pink, and I'm going to take him and I'm going to move him all the way up. Well, we have a lot of room. I'll move him over too. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to say okay. I'm going to go to edit, and there's my button to make a copy. It's showing me that it's grouped, and there I can make a copy of it. So it made a copy of the background quilting with the design, and now I can move that all as one. Okay, should we put in another design? We can also put in, and then we'll have to stitch them out individually, but let's go ahead. I did Holiday Kisses. Let's see the ornament. Ornament's going to be 4 by 4. I could just squeeze it in down here. So let's do that. Do you want to add that? I'm just trying to think if we add that. We're not going to be able to move it as one because we just did this. So let's just do these two, and then we'll add the next ones, and then we'll delete those. So I'm going to go ahead and say okay. And you can do these in any hoop that you want. This is, do you see how it's 5.59 inches across? So I could have, let me see. You want to make sure you're in the 5 by 5. So if you do it in your 5 by 5 hoop, or your 5 by 7, look how close you have to be. You're going to be pretty much on top of each other. And that's why it's better to do it in just like a hoop that gives you some more room. Okay, so, because I squeezed my filler blocks. I think you saw that. So this way, I don't have to squeeze them together. All right, I think we're good to go. Picture quality is good here. Thank you. Just remind me, and I'll just keep touching my screen to make it focus. So I'm going to go ahead and say okay. Okay, we're going to go embroidery. And we're going to go to this button down here. That's going to allow you to skip steps. And it won't let you color group. Yeah, function cannot be used when patterns are overlapping and we have a snowflake on top of the background. So we're going to do one and then we'll do the next, but this is going to save us from having to rehoop. So we're going to go ahead and say okay. Let's go to this button where we can go forward and backward stitches, and now it wants us to do the placement stitch. So color. Okay, hang on. ISO, I'm going to bring it back down again because that is way too bright. Well, I'm learning a couple of things. I'm learning that there needs to be thread in the machine before we start. So, color list. Pink lemonade for the quilting, and then aloe pink lemonade and a visible color that you can see. And there's my color. We'll just put this back here. Let me grab my pink lemonade. We're going to be on, the fabric that we're on is this white polka dot, so pink lemonade is totally fine. So I'm just going to grab my pink lemonade. A lot of times I want a color that's going to contrast, so I wouldn't do white. Maybe something just a little, with a little bit of contrast, but I'm going to go with my pink lemonade. Let's go ahead and thread her up. do your placement line, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my fabric, and I'm going to give it a little shot of spray in my spray tent, and I'm going to be watching my fabric to make sure nothing is getting pushed or smushed under. Here is my spray tent. Don't look at my hairy piece of cardboard. That's really gross, huh? Okay. Oh, look! I was going to flip it, but I obviously did that before. It doesn't bother me. So if it bothers you, just look away. I like it. It sticks. Stuff I can put down and it just kind of stays there. Here we go. And the spray that I like to use is I use my Ganol KK100, and I like spray because it's easy. And I like my spray tent because it keeps the spray from going all over my room. But if you want to tape, you can also tape. Sometimes I need to just get it primed. I don't like a ton of spray. That was kind of a lot. I like to just give it a little spritz. Little spritz. Okay, so I'm going to put this down here. These are just little itty bitties. Oh, I didn't do the other one yet. So we're going to put that down. We're also going to take our fabric and lay it down too. You need about, I'd say, half. It'll be probably about an inch all the way around, but since I have another one over here, I kind of slid it over a little bit. And now we're going to do the tack down of the background. We're going to skip this because that's for the batting. We cut our batting 2 sides. We're going to skip this. That's our background placement. And we're going to do this. This orange is going to be the tack down for the background. So you're really doing the first step for the batting, and you're doing the second step or the fourth step for the tack down of the background fabric. And you just lay it down. And I didn't center it, like I said, because I have the other design here. And that is approximately your cut line when you trim your blocks down. So now it wants the background quilting, and it is asking for you to do that in pink lemonade. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch that. I really love all of these, like the mini quilts, mug rugs, like little stuff that's a small bite, because I feel like I can actually get through it and finish it. I like the big bites too. So we're doing the quilting right now. After the quilting, go to the embroidery instructions. And then we're going to come up here, and we have already loaded the embroidery design. We're just going to be stitching. So we're going to be doing the aloe for the outside of the snowflakes, the pink lemonade, and use a visible color stitch the trimming guideline. So then you'll do a color for that. Just in case the embroidery pulls in, then you'll have another trimming guideline. And this one had special trimming instructions. So when we do that, that doesn't seem so special to me, right? We're just doing each block 2.5 by 2.5 inches. And maybe they mean it's special because we're not using a pop ruler? Not really sure. But that doesn't seem so difficult. All right, go ahead and put in your aloe first to do the outside of the snowflake. Yeah, Poppy literally looked at me, jumped onto my chair. Then she looked at me and she grabbed my transport tape because she loves to chew up tape, and then went running. So she's definitely looking for some attention. Yeah, last week I took Poppy to school because Momo will just sleep while I'm doing the live feed. Not Poppy. And this is going to be 3 minutes of stitching. Just let it go. Once we finish this one, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to do the next one. Let's go get you something to chew on. Let's go get you something to chew on. Where's your bone? Nope, nope, leave it. Leave it. Poppy, you have a bone somewhere. Where is it? Oh my God. Uh-oh, what's wrong? What's the oh no? Oh, are you talking about Poppy? Yeah. Today, you know what I need to do is I need to have a good chew for her. And I kind of call it like giving her the iPad. She needs a high value chew, but guess what? Mommy didn't prepare ahead of time. So we're just going to keep our fingers crossed. I don't like crating the dog when I'm at home. This is all new to be this. This is all new to be this live. Are you new? So Rebecca, are you saying that this is your first time doing like a live sew along with us? I'm glad you're joining us. And I could have, like, if you want to, we could have fast forwarded, right? So I could have done my placement line and then on my screen just fast forwarded to go to the next one. Um, have you tried the deer antlers for her? You know what? I have a deer antler and it's upstairs somewhere. I need to go find it. So maybe when I put in the next color. So we're done with the aloe and we're going to go ahead and let's put in your pink lemonade. So we're going to stitch this snowflake fill too. So I do have a deer antler and I'm so glad you mentioned that because she does like it. I'm going to go find it. Welcome, Rebecca. Good to have you joining us. Yeah, we just like to, and we treat this, I treat it like a sew along, and I know some of you do too, because some of you aren't doing Quilty Christmas, or some of you are working on something else. Some of you are finishers, and you go, I'm going to finish this before I start that. But it's also a good time to just set aside your time Friday mornings, if we can do it. Sometimes we do have a conflict. And then just set some time aside to just sew. Oh, yay, Miss Shannon. And where are you from? The other thing is, I was talking to my girlfriend this morning, and she is a writer. She actually, I'll have to plug her book, but her name's Nanda, and she has a new book coming out. And she was telling me as she's having trouble, like getting started on like um, her next book. And I was talking about the live feed, and I was like, I love doing the live feeds, and I love them um, because it gives me a deadline and it makes me accountable. Because I am really good at wasting time. So I love that I have this time with you because it schedules me. Like the more free time I have, I find the more free time I have, the more time I waste. So I love that I schedule this and I love that we have like an outline and I just love all of it. Otherwise, I can waste time, and I feel like these make me they make me more productive. Okay, so the next step in your instructions say, I'm going to focus it in. Use a visible thread color and stitch the trimming guidelines. Then you're going to remove the block. We're not going to do that because we're going to leave it in here. But I'm going to go ahead and put in a visible color. And why don't we go with? And I'm just grabbing colors from the thread kit. Basil. And we sell the thread kits. And if you don't know this, I've just started doing brown box specials. Well, we've run out of brown boxes because they've been so popular, but we'll do like cellophane bag specials. And all it means is you don't get the plastic container. It just goes in a bag, but it's cheaper than how much it is. It's a lot cheaper, I think, than what you would get if you buy the plastic containers. Some people love the plastic containers because that's how they keep it all organized. But if you ever want thread kits, just let me know. Again, this is not your actual trim line unless you're not going to press it. But I press everything, and I use this line is going to be more of what you're going to fussy cut to. So you're just going to pretend that is your trim line. We're ready to do the next one. I'm just going to leave the basil in there. This is going to be your placement line for the batting, and we're just going to do the same thing we just did. Yeah, it makes it so we're not sewing alone too. And for me, like, I love cooking, but I find like when I cook with my girlfriends, because sometimes we'll do cooking play dates. That's what I call them. Then sometimes cooking can be a chore, but when I'm cooking with other people, then it's like you're just having fun. You're just talking, girl time, guy time, sewing time, friend time. You're just having fun. Okay, here is my, this is going to be my background fabric, and it usually goes about goes a little bit, not quite a 1/4 inch outside of that. I think I'm going to be fine right there, right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay it down. If it's in there, it's okay. And now we're going to go ahead, we're going to skip some steps. When you do this process and you pre-cut your batting, look how dark that was. When you pre-cut your batting, then you don't have to do the tack down for the batting and the trim. So we're going to skip this step. We're going to skip the placement for the background because we put it down, and we are going to do that, the tack down for the background. And wow, I am learning all sorts of buttons I've never touched before because I'm trying to focus it and make it bright enough for you. Okay, let's put in your pink lemonade. We're going to put that in because we are going to do the quilting stitch. Will you be making up the thread kit for the new return to Bethlehem? You know, I don't do the me time because I don't have time. I don't. This is my me time, right? But if you want a thread kit for that, if you send me, uh, like, what is it? Is it amazing? I don't even know what it is. I think we have affiliate links so you can get me time through our store, though, if anyone wants to use that. But if you, Miss Kimberly, send me the color list. Like, if you send me the instructions, I'll look at it and see if I can put something together for you. Because I have had people, like somebody asked me for a thread kit for June mini quilts and January mini quilts, so I put one together for her. So send it to me. I don't have it, like the instructions, so if you send it to me, I'll make up a thread kit for you. I know, Betty, isn't it fun? We sew together, and the gals and guys on this, like a lot of you know each other from being on the live feeds, and there's always fun conversation. I've not used it yet. I have all this stuff for Quilty Little Christmas. Oh yeah, Rebecca, because you can watch us do it now, and then when you're comfortable, because some people feel, I don't want you to feel rushed or stressed at all. I want you to work at your own pace. So you can go ahead and watch them with us and work on something, and then you can stitch these out later when you're ready. You're going to love. Hopefully you will love the group. Hopefully you'll learn. You'll learn too. We learn together. I learn from you guys um, all the time. Like this is people like make suggestions and I try different stuff. Yeah, we're a community. Yes, send me the list and I'll put something together for you. See that little guy? Let's get him out of there. And I'm going to clip him. Let's just get him out. Oh my God, Kat, you've taught me. And so I went on, Kat, and I went into, I still have to learn. I went into the YouTube thing and tried to add some stuff, and then it added it to all the videos, and I was like, okay, I have to figure out how to do this the right way. But I just love you guys. Press, don't iron. I can't do that. I am way too impatient to press. And like I know I shouldn't iron some things, but the only time I'm really good at, and even then I'm not good at it. The only time I'm good at not ironing is when I'm dealing with like directional fabric, where if I iron it, it's going to spread the fabric and move the lines or make it not look good. I would love that, but only if you have time, Kat. Only if you have time. All right. We're going to go ahead and stitch out these snowflakes. We're going to do the pink part, and then we are done with these. I've already stitched, oh my God, I think it auto-focused. I already stitched out Holiday Kisses stamps, so there's a video, and the video's been posted, I think. After we do this, we're going to go on, and we're going to start out with the ornaments. And I think there's like, is it just like three? We have ornament 1, ornament 2, ornament 3. I did the Christmas tree block, and then I will film the borders. So we'll get through all the ornaments. Maybe we'll get to the borders too, and I'll do those for you live. Shannon, I don't decorate anything. I'm like the worst, and I'm also the person that has like the Christmas wreath on the door, and it's like the end of January. But yes, Kimberbell is so perfect for, well, for me, it's really entertainment. I just like doing it, and it's so cute, and I put it up at the store. I am the worst home decorator. But it's great to give to people that love to change out for the seasons and they have like that perfect house. That is not me. I'd like to be that person someday. I was actually a lot better before I started working again. Like when I had my kids, so I was a stay-at-home mom for like 8 years, and I did. I was like I decorated for every holiday and like. But you know what happens when you work full time? That kind of stuff kind of goes out the door. I'm so impressed with the people that work and get all of their decorating done too. For me, it was Halloween. We would just go all out for Halloween. Are these just like the cutest? These like little itty bitties. So cute. Betty, you say that like maybe you have stuff for people that maybe don't welcome it. Oh my god. Oh my God. See, Shannon, that's the kind of stuff I don't do in the so-longs that I should do, right? Maybe that's something. So, Brother has new software coming out, so they're doing BES Silver, and Michelle's going to be teaching it. And Michelle always goes, the best software to get is the software that you're going to use. And I have been, I'm like old school. I'm still using my USB. I'm not using software. I'm not cutting my fabric. I'm like this when I go to Salt Lake. So next week, is it next week? Or the week after, my kids have their fall break, so we're going to be going to Salt Lake, and I'm bringing my scan and cut with me, and I'm going to be doing, I'm bringing my scan and cut, and I'm going to do my Get to Know Your Scan and Cut class, because I still haven't done that yet. So I'm hoping to bring myself like, into 2024 like you guys. So oh wait, you know what I didn't do? I didn't do my the very last step. So the very last step is to do the placement or the trim line. So I'm going to use a contrasting color over this one. And why don't I go ahead and I'm just going to put in I'm going to put in this red. Yeah, I should be doing that too, Miss Shannon, using my software, and then I can color group and make it all one design. Right now it's just overlapping, so I can't do that. And I know a lot of people use Embrilliance and really, really like it. I'm excited to do the BS Silver and do the classes with Michelle because she's so good with all that stuff. I am not good with any of it. Part of it's time, and I'm a perfectionist, and I want it to be perfect, and I don't know how to make it perfect doing it that way. And it's the upfront time that I just don't have to put in, but I will. Okay, next one that we're going to do. We are going to go ahead and do ornament number 1. So let me grab, and I'm not rehooping because I have all this fabric down here. So I'm going to go ahead and do ornament 1 right here. I don't think I'm going to have enough room to do another one, and then I'll have to rehoop. But I'm just going to keep just using this right now and not rehooping. So let me go ahead and grab my fabric for ornament 1. I have never had to deal with my camera not autofocusing. And you know what Patrick's going to tell me? Restart your phone, and I bet that's going to fix it. Normally I restart before I film, and I restart my computer and my laptop, and I didn't, and it's been a while since I restarted. So I'm going to be doing ornament number 1. Let's go ahead and put it on the screen. We're not rehooping because, like I said, I'm using my 7x12, and I have all that room right there. So let me go ahead and just focus this and make sure it looks good for you. I'm going to leave those for right now because they give me point of reference so I can load my next design, and then before I stitch, then I'll go ahead and throw those away. You could also use your camera, but if you don't have a camera, so I think was it Shannon who said she just got a Pathfinder? I can't remember who said that. You'll want to leave those designs up there. If you have the luminary, you have something with a camera, you can take a picture and then it'll show you what's like in your hoop. But I'm just going to leave those right now. So I'm going to go ahead and say okay to get out of that screen. I need to add a design. So to go to the previous screen, you're just going to go ahead and hit the return button, and it'll bring you to your main edit screen. Let's go ahead and add our design. So we're just going to touch add, and we're going to put in ornament 1. Here, I'm going to put it here so you can see it. And our quilting design is Wavy 9 4x4. So we want to go ahead and find Wavy 9. And here's my Quilty Christmas folder. I have background quilting and Wavy 9. And we want 4x4. There's my embroidery files. I don't know why I left the instructions on there. I just did. Here's 4x4. So go ahead and select that. And I call this dating. Look, you can just touch whichever one you want. You can just like try it out, look at the screen. Once you hit set, that's like saying I do. I'm going to marry you. I'm going to stitch you out. Okay, we're going to add. And the design we're adding is Ornament 1, Quilty Christmas, PES, and Quilty Wishes. Here's Ornament 1. If your thumbnail is small, you can barely see the names of them. I can just see the O. So if you can, make your thumbnails big, and now you can see more of the title. So we're going to go Ornament 1. Go ahead and hit set. It's centered. Where do you find that information? It is all in your book. So if you look at your book for Ornament 1, it tells you that it's centered, and it's telling you that you're going to quilt and you're going to go to your embroidery instructions. So you'll go straight to step number 1. Colors we're using: aloe, wildflower, which is the red, linen, pink lemonade, and white. So those are all, I wrote those all in there. So, and I'll let you know as we go. So, I can't combine. If I hit my combine button to move these together, this is going to separate. You can't move them as one. These are going to move. So I think I am going to take a picture with my camera because I'm going to get rid of those. So I can combine that and move that as one. If I go into the next screen, it combines everything as one design. So let's go ahead and I'm going to get rid of all of this stuff. So I'm just going to hit delete. Whoops, what happened there? Sorry, return. I want to get rid of that one too. You got to touch it so the red dots around it, so you know what you're throwing away. And this is going to combine in the next screen. I'm just going to touch embroidery. That's going to combine the two designs. You have two choices in here. If you have a machine with a camera, I can either, and you have the Luminaire Solaris, I can either use my projector to make sure that it's not going to overlap on the other things, or I can use my camera. I'm just going to use my camera. Let's hit scan. Let's say okay. And here we go. Let me see that. Okay, so I used my camera. Now I have that on my screen. It took a picture of what's there. And that's just the picture. So I'm going to close this to get out of that screen. I'm going to go layout, move, and I'm going to go ahead and scoot this over. Because I can move it up. And move it all the way over here. I'm just going to take that fabric and I'll fold it up and tape it out of the way. Okay, there we go. And I've maximized the use of my fabric. And this image is going to stay there until I completely stitch this out. So you have to stitch out the whole thing, and then that image will go away. If I left just one stitch, this would be burned in that, like every time I bring up my embroidery, that's going to be there. The other way to get rid of it is you can go in here to the camera, and this is if you have a Luminaire Solaris, and I can go background image off, and then I can bring it back again, or off. I can change the contrast. Maybe it's too bright, or maybe it's not bright enough. You can't see it, so you can do that. You can save it as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit close. I'm going to tape that out of the way. And you can go in and throw it away manually in the settings. Little lesson there for you on your camera. Let me get this out of the way. So Okay, let's go ahead and do our placement line. Let's put some fat. I have no thread. I'm going to go ahead and just put this in there. The other thing I could have just done the projector too. I love the camera. I love the built-in camera. You could, if you have the, some of the machines have the app, so you could take the picture with the app. I'm going to go ahead and give these a little shot of spray. That's the placement line for my batting. Remember, you want to spray the wrong side of your batting. I think I am just throwing thread. Is that the sound I'm hearing? Sounds like there's just thread flying onto the ground. In my house and my sewing room, when you can't find something, you look on the floor. That's usually where it is. Okay, this fabric has snowflakes on it. Do you see them? So make sure. Usually you can see it from an angle. No? Where is it? How come you can't see them? There we go. You can see them now. Okay? Make sure you're spraying that you don't think that's just white fabric. We're spraying the side that has the shape flex on it. Don't go crazy with your spray. Whoop, whoop. My hand is I'm heavy-handed today. All right. I'm going to put my batting down first, right inside of that pink square, and I am going to put my background fabric down too. I'll just kind of center it. I scooted it up a little bit because I'm going to be putting more down here. All right, and now we're going to go ahead. We're going to skip some of the steps. So I'm going to get out of this page, the layout, because I want to go down here where I can go forward and backward stitches. Should we make this brighter? Right here. And again, when you do it like this and the batting's pre-cut, most of the time you're going to be skipping steps 2 and 3. If it's filler blocks, you usually do steps 1 and 3. If it's quilting block like this, you do steps 1 and 4. So we're skipping the batting, tack down, and the background placement. We're going to do the tack down for the background. And use a color that you can see. Don't use white. It's going to be hard for you to fussy cut it later. So I just have my pink lemonade in there. Intentional clutter. I feel like the way my room looks reflects what's in my brain. Is that so sad? Oh my goodness. Linen. Whoops, sorry. And I absolutely love the linen. I keep talking about it. I've always done white on white, like literally. And this quilt has been calling for linen on white, and I love it because it's just like you can see the quilting more. Like there's more to appreciate. It's just that slightest bit of contrast makes all the difference. Of course, I needed to be told to do it. I can't think of that on my own. Okay, quilting stitch. How do you know? Look at your screen too, because it'll show you the quilting stitch there. So just confirm. Sometimes I forget to skip steps, and the next thing I know, I'm stitching something I don't want to be stitching, but it shows it on the screen. Oh yeah, make that comment because then you can win something, right? And we like to give away fun stuff. Cute. Okay, what are we going to be doing next? After the quilting, here we go. We're going to stitch the ornament loop, the ornament cap, and then looks like we have some placement lines, tack downs, and trims, and then we're going to just be stitching all the cute embroidery on the ornament. 9 minutes of stitching. I think I'm going to definitely have time for the borders. We might take like a 5-minute break so I can like get that all prepped. There we go. All right. Go ahead and put in your aloe. That's the next color that you want. Of course, you can put any green that you want. Doesn't have to be aloe. My aloe's getting low. Try doing the kimmer with a high loft batting or just, I do not use the high loft batting. I know it's fun because you get like more puff, right? But if you're doing that, you might want to put up your embroidery foot height. I don't know, just so it's not pushing and dragging. What's going on with your high loft cap? Okay, wildflower. We're going to do the ornament cap. Ornament. I have wildflower lives on top of my machine. So let me go ahead and just have a big king cone of it. If you ever want a king cone of any colors, let me know and I can get those for you. I'll take and post. I bet it's going to be adorable. I loved your pumpkins and potions. Okay, this is the cap. And then get your linen out because you're going to be stitching the ornament tack down and we're going to place that piece of fabric. If you haven't already sprayed it, you should have a piece of coconut cream and spray the shape flex side, or else you can just tape it down too. Linen, where's my linen? Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, this is how I take out my thread. Hi, Pops. Hi. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yes. Hi. All right. Hang on. You want to come up? You can come up, but you have to sit in back. Okay. Come on. Get your foot up. Okay. Here we go. Whoop. Sorry. Okay. Let me show you how I take this out because I don't cut it and then do it. I undo this and then I unthread from this step. Just unthread, and then this is what you want to get past because that's where your tension disc is, and make sure your foot is up and this is open, and then just take it out. So you don't have to sit there and, whoops, sorry, you don't have to sit there and cut it and then pull it from the bottom. And then I have my 10 spool thread stand, and Miss Betty has been educating me as to the anatomy of mine because I never got out the instruction manual, and I put the clips on and then I took them off. I was like, that's too much for me. I just need it to be super, super simple. But it makes sense. There's those like little rubber stoppers on it as well. But I just take mine and, oh, look how dark that is. I just loop it in these and then I just bring it straight down. Then down here, and everything's out of focus, and then I just thread it all. Okay, let me get my color back. Alrighty. Maybe I might pause the video and restart everything so I don't have these issues right now. But I'm putting in my linen. We're going to do a placement line. We're going to put the fabric down, and then we're going to trim. And I'm really sorry about the quality of the video today. And the other thing I need to do is, yes, I need to figure out how to make my quality the best quality for recording, because I've never done that, Miss Cat. And maybe that'll make all the difference. Here's my fabric, ready to go. You know what else is fantastic about this thread stand? Is like to put it on is like so easy. You just like I'll do a demo on it. Maybe I'll make a little video about the thread stand. Poppy, you want to go out? Okay. I'll leave that for you. Okay? I mean, what dog catches mice? Poppy does. I heard Patrick the other day be like, Poppy, get over here. And she caught a mouse on the patio. I guess, well, we had a husky and he used to catch everything. He would catch squirrels and mice and he would collect them. He'd put them in a pile. I just want to make sure I should be trimming this. Let's look at our instructions. So here we have stitch. Is this, where are we at? Right here. We're on this step. So we did the placement line, we laid down the fabric, and then it said trim the fabric close. Every once in a while it wants you to not trim it right away. So I just wanted to check that. So we're going to go ahead, trim it close, and then we're going to, with the linen, we're going to do the decorative outline. I think that goes around the outside. It's a decorative outline, which means it's probably not a satin stitch, and that also means just make sure you get your trimming done well. Because sometimes that doesn't, sometimes when you, it does that like Kimberbell outline, if your stitches aren't really close, then you have some of the threads show through. I love snips. Oop, you don't want to get too close like I just did. I actually cut some of those, but it's okay. It would be not okay if it was raw edge and that was all you were going to have, but it's okay for this because there's going to be a decorative stitch outline. So it's doing that gorgeous decorative stitch, and then we're going to put the aloe in again, and pink lemonade and white. So those are going to be our colors. Dancing fluff. Wow, I didn't know that, Cat. I didn't know that it prioritized higher quality streams and videos. I need to learn how to go in and change that. Look how beautiful that is. That is I call that the Kimberbell stitch. That's like the beautiful decorative stitch, but you do need to be close or else your threads will come out from underneath. So whatever you do, get something that's curved. Like you need, in your collection, you need to have like double curved scissors or even your snips that are going to be curved. You need something that has a curve that allows you to get really close to those stitches. All right, it is going to do the snowflake one fill. So this is step number 6. Oh, can't even see that. Right here. You're doing those like little leaves. So double curved is important to have in your stash. The first curve goes up and over the edge of your hoop, and the second curve goes away from your fabric. But that curve allows you to cut really close to your stitches, that applique. But sometimes just having snips are going to be the best. And these are my favorite. They're the Snip E's made by Havel or Havel. But I love those. I love my Tula Pinks too. I love everything Tula Pink. Her stuff has that like finish. These are my hemostats, right? That's what these are called. Love these. For when you need to grab stuff, it has like the little teeth. It, isn't it just so sweet? Like, it's just sweet. Uh-oh. Poppy's being a menace. Okay, get your pink lemonade ready. Then you're going to do the inner fill. Kat, I'd love to see what you did with this. Because I think you should just get the pattern and then Tula pink it. So yeah, I don't know if you love Kimberbell scissors, but they're coming out with they have new scissors that they're coming out with, and that scissor case, and I think it's all on our promotion page. I think we have it all at 20% off for the pre-order. It's not going to be out, I think, until like February. No, I'm sorry. I think it's coming out in November, but I could be wrong. But they have double curved. So if you want to just add to your collection, or the double curved I have, or the Fomori, I'm pretty sure the Kimberbell ones that they're going to be selling are going to be Fomori scissors that are rebranded. Cute. And these are quickies. I mean, this is like 9 minutes of stitching. I know it takes a little bit longer because we have to trim the applique, but these go pretty fast. Okay, after this one, because all we're going to do is the pink lemonade and then the white, we're going to stitch out ornament 2. So get your fabric ready for that. I don't think I'm going to have enough room. I'm probably going to have to rehoop. Use Adobe Premiere and oh my God, Kat, you lost me at Adobe Premiere. I like seriously I struggle with all of this. So that's gonna even with and it improving my recording quality. I think I could probably find that and figure it out. But a lot of times I just ask Patrick to do it for me. He's my IT guy. I'll just yell for him in the house, IT guy! And then he comes running. So we got in a discussion last night because he goes, what did he say? He said something about, God, I don't even remember. Something about like they throw their back. Oh, we were talking about we have a great guy that does work for us in Salt Lake. We have a house in Salt Lake. And he goes to me, he goes, he throws the bag on a lot. And I was like, what does that mean? And he goes, he does a lot of the work. Like, um, and I go, do you mean a tool belt? Like that he puts his tool belt on? He goes, yeah, but if you're in the industry, if you're like one of the guys, then you call it your bag. You call it throwing on your bag. And I was like, since when do you know that they call it throwing on a bag? You don't throw on a bag. And he goes, I've got a lot of friends that do construction. And but I thought that was so funny. I go, well, if we ask on the live feed tomorrow, what that thing is. I go, I'm going to ask them tomorrow if they know what a bag is, throwing your bag on. And I'm going to say, what do you call the... Okay, are we done with the pink? I think we're done with the pink. We're going to do the white. You can look at your screen too. I'm going to ask them if they know what that thing is called that when people do construction and they wear it around their waist. And we're going to see if they call it a bag or if they call it the tool belt. Because I've never heard that term before. But I believe Patrick because he always knows. I was like, yeah, but you don't call it, you don't work with your bag. He goes, that's what people are in the industry call it. I am so happy that you're learning from the sew-alongs, right? Because it's like everything else. A lot of this we're self-taught. And then anytime I teach you like what not to do, it's because I've done it. So I'm trying to save you from the pain of doing it. Yeah, so Shannon, does it like if you know somebody that's in construction or does carpentry, do they call it like their bag? He's got a good friend that has a construction company up on the lake, and so he's like, that's what Kevin calls it. He says he's throwing on his bag. What is a CB? I've never heard that term before. What's a CB? Yeah. So he calls it a tool belt, right? That's what I told Patrick. I go, it's a tool belt. And he goes, not for the guys in the industry. They call it the bag, throwing onto their bag. I go, that's going to be the question of the day tomorrow, Patrick. We're going to ask them, what do you call that thing you put around your waist? I was like, I bet they're going to say it's a tool belt. Navy construction worker, basically. Wow. You know, it's so funny the terms that are out there that you don't know anything about until you're in it, right? I gotta find that antler. Okay, next one, I'm gonna go find that antler for Miss Tops. A, a CB. Hi, baby girl. Yes. It is so sweet. Is this like, look at it. It's so sweet. And I just love the contrast of the cream fabric on the white background. All right, and that one is done. We are done with ornament number one. I don't think I'm going to have room for ornament number two, so I'm going to go ahead and rehoop. If you want, you can switch over to your 5x7. I'm going to leave it in this and squeeze it all the way down to the very bottom. So let's go ahead and let me take this off. I know I have all of these on there, and then I should cut some of these off. I didn't cut them off yet because I left the fabric going down and to the right. Because I just had this big old piece of fabric, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to just keep hooping in every direction. So let me go ahead and take off my magnets. There we go. You get spoiled when your phone does all of the autofocusing for you and the color and all of that, and now it's not doing it. What the heck? I'm going to use all of this goodness right down here. I think I'm only going to be able to fit like one more anyways. But I'm trying to think. Maybe we'll just use this then up here. Well, guess what? I have options. Because I have all of this on here, I'm just going to do it this way. We'll just fill it all up. If this is making some of you crazy, you're like, oh, I could not deal with all of that fabric. I totally get it. Especially because look how close. Like, I don't have to have like a ton of stabilizer up on the top with this hoop. I just love these hoops. And if you missed the brother sale, we will do something again. It just isn't going to be for a little while because we're just kind of wrapping it up. I still have to get people their software and the rest of the people their magnetic hoops. But I did a really good job. Usually I say when Patrick wants to go do something, I'm like, okay, and I just work. But lately I've been like saying, no, you're not. And then he and I have been going into the store together, and we're kind of, I don't want to say we're totally caught up, but we are close to being caught up. I know, it's a lot of fabric here, but I'm just going to fold this up. This will be on the inside. All right. One more. Okay, I'm going to go put this on my machine. I just have to fluff to the left and the right, which is no big deal because I can see it all. We're going to come on over here and let's do our next designs. There we go. Oh my goodness. Tidy up, Jeannie. You know how like you just start stitching and it just keeps getting more and more out of control in your sewing room? And then finally you're like, okay, I need to rein this in. And you clean it up. That's what I just did. All right. I'm going to go ahead and say, okay. I'm going to go to the previous screen because that's where I can add. So I can't add it in my layout screen. I'm just going to hit return. Takes you to the previous screen. Embroidery takes you to the layout screen so that you can just go back and forth. So let's make sure I don't need the same quilting design. And I don't throw everything away if that quilting design is what I'm using. This is Ornament 3. Where's Ornament 2? Okay, I have to find that, but it's here somewhere. There it is. When in doubt, look on the floor. Here's Quilty Wishes Ornament 2. This is the fabric that you're going to have. And from the spreadsheet, Ornament 2 is Christmas 14. Look, Ornament 3 is Wavy 9. And that's what I have on here right now. So, hate to throw you off. I'm going to do Ornament 3. Because then I have the same background quilting. Let's make sure. Okay, there's my ornament. So I want to throw away the right thing. I want to keep my quilting design. I just want to throw away the ornament. So you can see, here's your select buttons. You can go back and forth. If I touch it, I don't know what I'm going to get. See how you don't always get what you want? So I'm going to throw that away. Delete. We got to center that because the design will come in center. So how do you recenter that design? Go to your edit. There's your editing options. Go move and hit that center button. These are your move arrows. That's your center button. It'll bring it back to center. And now we're going to add. So I'm going to add. I'm going to go to my pocket. I already have my quilting up there, which is Wavy 9. I'm going to go to my PES designs. And here's Quilty Wishes. And we want Ornament 3. And I can read my whole title right there because I have my thumbnails as big as they go. and go ahead and hit set. And let's go to my next page. So I'm going to go embroidery. And I have my 7x12. I'm hooped over here. I'm just going to take that design and put it in the upper right hand corner. So I'm going to go layout, move. And the reason I put it there is because here's where I'm hooped, so I'll just squeeze it over here. I don't even know what I can do over on this side. Maybe a filler block, maybe something, who knows, maybe nothing. Maybe it just goes in the trash can. I always look at that as therapy for me, throwing things away, that I can do it and it's okay sometimes, Jeannie. Okay, say okay. Let's go ahead and stitch. So I'm going to go down here where I can go forward and backward stitches. Are you guys focused in? Let's hit that button and let's get started. All right. I have white thread in there. Let me put in a color you can see. CBs. I'm reading your comments right now. Bells, very well. How are fur babies? Whose fur babies are we talking about? I should have kept Momo home. Should have sent the menace to school. Patrick and I. So we're going to Salt Lake again for the kids. They have a break, and I'm going to put this in taffy so you can see it. And we tried to kennel the dogs, but the kennel was already full, the place that we take them. And they just called us to tell us they had a cancellation. And he and I are so excited. We're like, yay! Because, like, sometimes we need a break from them. Poppy is up early. Last night, I don't even know what time it was. She's scratching at the door, and I just put her in her crate. And then it was dark. That's all I know is it was dark. So I'm doing Ornament 3. Grab your Ornament 3 fabric. So just to be able to sleep in, oh my goodness, we're excited. I almost feel guilty. But not. Okay, again, we have snowflake fabric. I wish I could get an angle. You can kind of see it. There we go. Make sure you're spraying the right side, and hopefully you put the Shape Flex on the right side of your snowflake fabric. Right side meaning the wrong side is what I'm saying. I'm just giving this all a little shot of spray. You don't need to see that because you already saw it. Construction Battalion. You guys are all in the know. I don't know anything. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put this down. We'll just put it down like that. Just make sure, and I didn't center it because I'm just moving it kind of over. And we're going to skip some steps. Remember, if you're cutting your batting to size and you're doing this process, we're going to skip all the way to the background tack down because everything else is ready to go. Make sure your fabric's fluff, that nothing is folding under. Do you ever watch those videos where, and I like to watch the videos where it's, I don't know why I'm more attracted to the videos of the women that do, like, you know, when they do their, it's not construction, but, you know, they're doing, like, remodels kind of stuff. And I love watching those videos, and I dream about that. Like, oh my God, look at how she built that custom cabinet. And there's a couple ladies that I actually follow, and I can't tell you their names, but I just love what they redo their pantry, or they redo, like, and add shelves to the top of their cabinets and reface, and I'm always, like, so impressed. That's something I'd like to do someday. Okay. Quilting. Linen. Linen's the color. So go ahead and put your linen in. I'm always so jealous of the gals that have had their husbands come in and do their custom cabinets. They're like, oh, my husband built that for me. Joanne knows all about the CBs. I've never even heard of CBs before. I love learning something new. The construction battalion. How cool. Here we go. We are doing your quilting stitch right now. Wait a minute. Okay, guess what I just did? I didn't turn my page. Here we go. Okay, it's still fine because it is still linen and I have the right design. Sorry about that. I was looking at the wrong page. It's centered. We're going to go to quilting after this. We need our aloe and then we need our wildflower. So go ahead and grab your aloe. I would have been all sorts of confused and confusing you. CBs. If it was up to me, I would always have a dog. Like, I would never not have a dog. But Patrick says these are going to be the last dogs we have. I want a small dog. Is that my family? I don't know why they're so against small dogs, but I've met a couple of the God, what are those dogs? I have to remember the name of them. I love my big dogs, don't get me wrong, but they're big. I want like a little, I don't want super, super, are they the, there's a dog that I want. It'll come to me later. Like my dogs are not easy to watch. They are so demanding. My husky, he was so chill. He was always up for anything. So when you were ready to go, he was ready to go. But if you weren't doing anything, he was just chilling out. And he wasn't demanding and he wasn't like forcing you to do stuff. He wasn't destroying stuff. He was really just fantastic. And I'd be like, we had our friends would always be willing to watch him because he was so great. I would never ask my friends to watch my dogs now. They're reactive on walks. Oh my God. Poppy wants to fight. And it's so embarrassing. And you go, well, they need training. We've trained. They're just so. Oh God. Poppy does not like kids. I like get stressed out when we're walking and she sees a child. Because I'm like, okay, there's a trigger. I'm that crazy woman that you see pulling their dogs off the trail and high up into the grass to get away. That's me. And they've tried when Poppy goes to school and a little kid comes in, they're like, "Can we do some training?" And she just does not like children. Okay, there's the top of the ornament. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to place the ornament now. So you're going to put your linen back in. They say that they can kind of get their attention off the kid, but if she sees them, she's like laser focused, and it's almost impossible to get her to not focus on that child. The thing that, if we walk and the thing that gets her not to focus on a child is another dog. Her attention will go to the dog. And Poppy is great off lead. She's very friendly. She wants to play with the other dogs. She goes to school. They've never had an issue with her. But if she's on her leash, she wants to fight. Oh my God, she wants to fight. And we've done all the like walk in the other direction. At this point, though, we don't have time. Like when we go on that walk, we've worked all day. We've come home, and we just don't have the time to just walk the other direction and switch her direction and do all the other things. So we just kind of run through, let her bark, get crazy, and get through it our walk. But I'm that crazy person with the crazy dog. That's me. And it's so embarrassing. Oh my God. Yes. My husky was crazy as a my as a puppy. Like he would like run and rip things off the wall, like high off the wall. Like you just didn't even know they could do that. I was like, how did he even get up that high? And then you see him do it. Yes, he was crazy as a puppy, but that was like as a puppy, and then he was like the best. He loved kids. Oh my God, he loved babies. If babies came over, he would just want to stay right next to the baby and just lick the baby's feet. He would not want to leave the side of the baby. Which ones are these? I don't even know which ones these are. I just have them in my stash. These are some no-name snips. I just grabbed them. Okay, get that close because now it's going to be that pretty decorative stitch. Um, Trim the fabric close to the stitch line. Stitch the ornament decorative outline. I'm just going to slide my hoop back on. Fluff. If ever you take your fabric off, your hoop off, fluff your fabric. A snarky SK. Poppy is, oh shit, the smaller the more she dislikes them. But actually, I don't know. I haven't had her around babies, and I just wouldn't because you just never know with an animal, right? But she doesn't like any little people, like a 2-year old, a 5-year old. The bigger they are, the more she likes them. Oh yeah, shedding was crazy with the husky for sure. There was always like it like floated. The hair floated in the air at all times. Okay, go ahead and put in your pink lemonade. We're gonna do part of the little. I don't know. Is this a pinwheel too? I don't know what you would call this. It's a stitched one. Go ahead and stitch that out. That is 2 minutes of stitching. Pops out in the yard right now. I'm gonna go take a peek and just make sure she's not digging holes. Hi. Hi. Are you just being a good girl? Are you just being a good girl? Are you bored? Are you just bored? Should I go and look for your antler? Ooh, what's under you? You are digging, aren't you? Two huskies, two Maine Coons. My life. And don't you have cat? Don't you have kids too? Two kids? 5 to an elementary school. I still haven't reached that. Yep. Yeah, it's embarrassing. I I don't have, and part of it is our fault. We just were busy, and they didn't. We weren't as my husky. I had a husky and a short hair at the same time, and they wore a choke with a little lead on it, and I don't want people to think we're cruel. They'd get a little pop if they were like misbehaving. These dogs don't get anything, so they do. They misbehave. We worked with a trainer that had us use those, and they were really the best dogs ever. Two kids under three and two. Yes, that is a lot, Kat. You're in the thick of it. How are you even finding time to stitch? You must have excellent time management skills. When my kids were little, I actually did a lot more. Like but it wasn't working too. And I think, Kat, do you work? I wasn't working, and so I had lots of time that I spent with girlfriends that had kids the same age, and we did a ton of play dates together, and we would do cooking dates, and we would do just, every day was like, what are we going to go do with the kids? And we taught them how to read, and it was fun. I'm really thankful that I had that time. Okay, next color, pine. I'm going to put pine in for the next part. And I sewed. So that's when I started sewing again. So when my kids were probably about like one, I hadn't sewn for a long time, and I had a girlfriend that was making dresses because I have boy girl twins, and I met this friend of mine like on the corner of our neighborhood. We were both like walking with strollers, and we looked and we were like, oh, look, you have like, how old is your daughter, and how old are your kids? It's funny how easy I felt like it was to make friends with just having kids and being out and about. So she started sewing and making her daughter super cute stuff, and I wanted to make cute stuff, so I started sewing, and then she embroidered her stuff, so her stuff looked even cuter than my stuff. And I got my first embroidery machine, and then we would get together and we would do sewing play dates. So when the kids were playing, we would sew, or when the kids were sleeping, we'd get together and sew too. And that's how I started sewing again. But remember that time that was so precious when they went to sleep, and they went to sleep early or nap time, and it was just like so fast. Or when they started kindergarten and you were like, oh my goodness, it's already time to go pick them up. We were the yours, mine, and ours pet edition. Got it. That age, Cat, just remember you like couldn't, you had to have your head on a swivel, especially when they go in different directions. All right, next color, we're going to put in Wildflower, and I think that's it. And then this block will be done. So I did go out of order. This is ornament number 3, and I did ornament number 3 before 2 because it had the same background quilting as 1. And so I threw away the ornament design that was on the quilting and just used the background quilting. Oh my God, is that called working smart? I don't even know. All right, go ahead and put in your wildflower. This is going to be 2 minutes of stitching, and then we are done. I don't know about you guys. I felt like the busiest time with kids was like when they started doing all the activities, like when they were playing soccer and when they were doing dance and when they were doing all those things, because you were just like, you were racing to get your kids from one activity to the next activity and trying to juggle it all. That I felt so busy when they were little because you were just busy just chasing after them in the house. But then when they got to be that age where they were playing sports, and that was like tough times, like trying to juggle it, carpooling. You really depend on friends for all of that too, and just getting everyone everywhere. And then traveling on the weekends and doing the recitals. Okay, once we're done with this one, I'm gonna rehoop. And why don't I go ahead? I'm gonna hoop up in my 5x7. And I'll do the last ornament in that one. I can hoop up right now and be ready to go. If I can find my fabric. I always tell people I loved it all, but I was always ready to move on. Oh, and it's done. And that one's done. Move on to the next stage. And I was lucky because when you have twins, you can get rid of that pack and play when you're done with it. You don't have to wait to have it for the next kid, right? So I was lucky. Here is. Let me grab this. I need a vacation. Oh my God, Kat. Yes. And then you'll need a vacation from your vacation. That is a lot to juggle. But I mean, it's such fun times too. All right. Big magnet on the top. I'm just hooping up in my 5x7 to do the last ornament. Here we go. I'm just going to hold this down, do the next one. I can't wait to be on permanent vacation, but everyone I know who's retired, they're like, I am busier than ever, right? But hopefully you're busy doing all that fun stuff. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and slide this on. I have all of these gorgeous embroideries here, and I'll cut those out. Oh, guess what? So I put my hoop on, and it's telling me I need to change to a larger hoop, and the reason for that is because I have this where a 7x12 would have it in the topmost corner, and a 5x7 embroidery field is much lower. So all you have to do is just slide it off. I'm just going to take it off, and then clear the screen, and then you'll get rid of that message. And I do that all the time. So I'm going to say, okay, let's just go home. That'll clear the screen. And let's go ahead and we're going to put in our embroidery design. And I'm also going to load in, hang on. I'll select my 5x7. So I am doing ornament 2 now. Remember, I already did ornament 3. So let me focus you. Pocket. Quilty Christmas, background quilting, and for ornament 2, it's Christmas 14. So you want Christmas 14, and you want the 4x4. So let's go to PES, and we're going to go 4x4, and let's go ahead and set it. And we're going to add, and the design we're going to add is going to be ornament 2. I say it, and then I forget. PES. We're doing Quilty Wishes. And here's ornament 2. So cute. These are very sweet. Let's select our hoop size because this is set up for the 7 by 12. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to select my 5 by 7 and go ahead and say OK. And let's select embroidery. That's going to combine these two designs together and you can move them as one. And I'm going to scoot it all the way up to the top. Layout, move. And my hoop is not on. So when I hit my up arrow, it'll just keep going up. Once you slide your hoop on, your machine knows, because it doesn't know what hoop you're using. Now it knows the hoop you're using. And now when I go ahead and hit my up arrow, it stops. You get a knock knock that's saying, hey, that's far enough. That's as far as you can go. And, let's go ahead and say OK. And then we're going to go down here where we can skip and fast forward through steps. All right. First step, I have red in there. I usually don't like leaving red in there because I feel like it's a bold color that you're going to see through stuff. But this is just the placement for the batting, so I'm just going to leave that in there and go ahead and stitch it. Where are we at? How about, is anyone in Florida? Anyone on the live feed? And what's going on? And are you okay? And I saw pictures of, they were showing one of the bridges, and I was like, that looks so scary to me. I hope everyone's okay. Hang on just a second. I'm trimming down my batting. For some reason, I had really big pieces. They were bigger than the 4 I need. Kat, where are you? What's going on? Are you, what part of Florida are you in? I guess you don't have to tell us, but I just hope you're safe and you're not in the path. I mean, you're on the live feed, so I think you should be okay, right? So scary. Weather is scary. I remember growing up, I grew up in Connecticut. Nothing exciting really happens in Connecticut. Maybe you get a blizzard or something like that. Not that you want any of this stuff to happen there. But I remember there was remnants of a hurricane and it traveled up the coast. And then we just had high winds. But, when it's not, when you don't feel like in peril, it was just exciting for us to have like that because it was just high winds. I mean, some trees, maybe some tree branches got knocked down. That was it. But when it's a combination, we were inland too. I didn't live on the coast or anything. When there's water involved, I'm terrified of water and things that happen with the water. Yes, fine, Kim. Yeah, that's right. You're in Florida too. In the middle of the state. Good. Fine there. Dead center of the, yeah, I saw that it was going to go up through the Panhandle and then up into, what was it going, Georgia and then Tennessee. Thread. Okay, we're going to skip some steps and that, I didn't cut my thread short enough. Okay, that is tack down for the batting, don't need it. Placement for the background and tack down for the background. So you're doing the first step and then you are doing the fourth step. When you do block by block quilting like this, really, it's worth up in North Carolina. Okay, turn to the right page. I had it on the wrong page before, which is now the right page. And we are going to do our quilting with linen. You're on the West Coast. That's it too, timing. When they had the hurricane in New York City, and it was just all the wrong time. That just made it so catastrophic. So hopefully The hurricanes. Going through at the right time for you guys. Oh, it just scares me. Cute. Look at the stitching. So funny when Patrick talks about it, when he's describing the stitching. He's like, oh, look how cute. He's a funny boy. Okay, after this, we are going to be doing, you want your aloe and your pine. Those are the next colors that we're going to be using, so go ahead and grab those. And we are going to be stitching out, let me make it brighter. We're going to load the ornament, so we're going to do the loop. And then the ornament cap this time is going to actually be green. So let's go ahead. I know that's super bright. Let me turn the color down. So go ahead and put in your aloe first. 3 hours. Does that mean in 3 hours it's going to be the highest it's going to be? Oh my God. I was watching video last night and they were showing like the water coming up and over one of the bridges and there were cars there. There were cars trying to drive through. And I was like, that's how people die. I was like, oh my God, please get off the bridge. But I guess if you have to get home, right? Was that it? Where is Frostproof? That's the name of a town. It's called Frostproof. Major weather change at all. I'm like 3 hours from Turkey Point. Reading your comments. Okay, go ahead and put in your pine. That's going to be doing the top of your cap. And don't forget, you can put this all in one hooping. Use your big old hoop. Sometimes I forget about that, and I don't do that. A lot of times I just like using these hoops, my 5x7 and my 7x12, and I've just kind of been sticking to it. Here we go. Now we're doing the top of the ornament. And then we're going to be doing some applique. So after that, right now it's doing this step number 2. I love that they have your instructions and then they have a corresponding pictures. Some of you are much better with the picture. Sometimes I read, but my mind thinks something else and I have to be reined back in. So after that, we're going to do the applique. So we're going to be doing the red piece and then we're going to be doing the pink part. So the top of the ornament, top and bottom are red. Right here, here's your picture. So this is not all stitching. That's going to be fabric, and this is going to be fabric. And then we're going to be stitching out the little checkerboard on top. Okay, let me get that color down for you. All right. So it's basically a color. It doesn't make a difference because you're going to have satin stitch over it, but I don't always do the red. Like I said, I just don't want it to kind of peek through. So I'm going to go ahead and why don't I put in, where's my pink lemonade on the floor? Let me grab that. I'm just going to put pink lemonade for this. So color you can see, but not something so bright. And what it says in the instructions, it'll say neutral. All right, here's the placement for the red fabric. Mine is in my spray tent and ready to go. So once it does this, I'm going to place down my red fabric. I have a big crease in mine. I don't know what that's from. I'm just going to leave it because I'll be pressing it down. Oh man, that's how the gene pool is clean. Oh my God. Oh. See, look at, I have a big crease in mine, so I'm just going to put this up near the top, and then that is like not even going to, yeah, because why are they crossing that bridge, right? During the hurricane. Oh my God, be safe. You guys be safe. Make good choices. Maybe they just think they can make it, but maybe they have to get across. They're trying to get to their family. I have so many scissors to choose from. I just kind of go between all of them. Maybe I'll use Mar- my Martelli snips. I think that's such a cute name, frostproof. Like, we're in Florida, we're never going to even get frost here. But you do, right? I think Poppy's mad at me because I'm not giving her any attention. Let me pull that towards me a little bit. There we go. What she really likes to do for attention is she likes to go into my sock drawer. Yesterday, she had like a little black, it's like one of those like no-show socks that you wear. It's barely a sock. Feels like, remember pantyhose? Oh my God, it feels like pantyhose. And then I look, and then Momo never does stuff like that, but he's got one, and they're playing tug of war with it. I think I still have some pantyhose. I mean, do we even wear those anymore? I can't even remember the last time I wore pantyhose. I have some like really cute tights, but remember what was that one that was like sold like in an egg? What brand was that? Okay, go ahead, slide this back on. I mean, honestly, can we skip the next step because you know it's going to go right here. So just grab your pink, put it on top, and let's skip the placement line, but we're going to do the tack down. Turquoise is placement. Orange is tack down. So we're going to do the orange right there. But I'm skipping the placement because we don't need that. We know exactly where it's going to go. Don't be scared to skip steps. But don't skip them if it's going to confuse you. Legs, that's right. That is so funny. Oh my God. Oops. Look, I got nothing. So you need your tack down. You got to have it. I don't know why that didn't do the whole tack down, but I'm going to check first thing I'll do is check my bobbin. Make sure that's okay. I'm going to reset it. And then I'll show you how to go back. Because some of you don't know how to go back. And now I'm going to go up, and I'm also going to rethread my upper and just see what happened. Something happened. Didn't like something. I have my cutter is not cutting right. So I'm going to go back. We don't want to do the satin stitch yet. This will go forward to the next step. That'll go back to the previous step. So I'm going to hit that back button. There you can see the orange tack down. And let's go ahead and do that one more time. I'm going to go ahead and do this tack down. I'm going to trim, and I'm going to go find that antler for Miss Poppy. That's funny, right? That it didn't pick up and then it picked up. Interesting. Machines do weird things. These are my titanium femores. There we go. Hopefully that's a satin stitch because I'm not totally close right there. Okay, there we go. And now if you look at your screen, it wants you to put in your red, and I'm going to put in my wildflower. We are ready to turn the page, even though I haven't even been referring to the book. Right here, we are at page number, what is that, 46? Oh my God, I can't read. We're going to turn that. And now it's just going to be a bunch of stitching. So wildflower, pink lemonade, and aloe. Let's turn the color down. Go ahead and get your wildflower or whatever red you love. I love wildflower. It's like such a great color. And he says, it's a tool belt. That is so funny. That is so funny. Okay, so they don't call it, because Patrick's like, and then Patrick at all is like, you know, like I go, oh, so since when do you know the jargon? Since when do you know it? He goes, that's what my friends say. They call it the bag, that they throw the bag on. Today I threw on the bag. That is funny, Miss Shannon. What is the best glitter and metallic fabric for applique in the hoop? Maybe a thin vinyl with flat fabric backing. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that you can use, Casey. So Kimberbell's got theirs is HTV, which is heat transferred, so you can iron it down, right? So I'm going to show you some stuff. So Kimberbell also has their polka dot. And they have like great colors that you can get. So theirs is going to be pretty thin. It's heat transfer vinyl. And they have the polka dot and they just have the regular color. Now there's other stuff that you can get. Like for instance, this is OESD. So OESD has their Luxe Sparkle Vinyl. And this isn't going to be heat transfer, which means you can't iron it down. It's more like a fabric. And I'd call it like medium thickness. It's heavier than what you're going to get with the Kimberbell stuff. That stuff is pretty thin. This is going to be a little bit heavier. You could probably even, I'm trying to think if you could like sew with this. Because it's got like a fabric backing to it. So you could even maybe sew with it and use it in bags and things like that. It's not super heavy though. But it does have that fabric backing. Other stuff. Like, what's this? I don't even know what this is. This might be Hungry Hippo. Is that what it's called? I make names up too. So sometimes I say stuff. Oh, I think it's called Happy Hippie. I'm totally making stuff up. This is much thicker. I don't know if you can see that, but that's probably what, like 2 millimeters or something. And this I would totally feel comfortable like sewing with it. And you could use it, and it might be too thick for embroidery to lay down. So there's so many, I mean, look at this. I don't even know who makes this. This is a glitter vinyl. Fantastic. Michelle has all this stuff, and I get all excited to use stuff. I think this stuff is fantastic for embroidery. This is made by Everstone. It's a luxe glitter. We carry this in the store too. I love this because you get big pieces. Like what you get with Kimberbell, it's like I want to say it's $13.99 or they $12.99. And you get a piece that's what, 7.5 inches by like 18 inches, so it's not very big. This is luxe glitter fabric. And here, while it's waiting, let's put in the next color. So you're going to put in the pink lemonade. Such a great question, Casey. Yeah, because there's so many products out there, and if you don't know what's out there, how do you know what to get? Honestly, a lot of times I'm just doing Kimberbell projects, so I am using the Kimberbell products because I'll get the kit and all of that. But there are so many options out there. I love this stuff. I'm going to take it out and show it to you. Look at your piece. 27 inches by 11.8 inches. Here. So it's big. You get a lot for your money, and it's $10. Colors are fantastic, and it's fabric backed. So it depends, but I feel like this is thin enough to be great for applique as well. And you know, and all sorts of projects. So this is really versatile. The Kimberbell stuff is thin. So you're not going to want to, like, you could use this as your base layer or like as fabric for sure. It's like fabric backed. So if you wanted to do bags or something like this, not, you can't really wash any of this. It's not recommended, but this stuff is fantastic as well. And that's Eversewn. I think we have it on the site. Comes in different colors, all sorts of different colors. And I could go on and on. I have even more in my stash. Yeah, the blue is great. So I don't even, did that even answer your question? I'm going to read your question again. What is the best glitter and metallic fabric for applique in the hoop? Yeah, I think when you're doing applique in the hoop and it's applique, I would go thinner than thicker. Like, I wouldn't use the really, really thick stuff, but like this stuff would be totally fine, the Eversewn. The thing that's nice about the thinner stuff, especially the HTV, is you can iron it, and so it's going to be adhered, and you don't have to worry about puckering. If you're using the other stuff, you might worry a little bit about the puckering. I feel like if you're doing smaller pieces, you don't have to worry about it, but as the pieces get bigger, you don't want pucker. Okay, next, we're going to put in our aloe, and that's going to be for the checkered detail, and that's going to be it for this one. 1221. Let me see, where's my aloe? I don't know, because the borders are going to take me a little while, so I think instead of starting those, I will like come back and film that. And I'll probably film it tonight if I can, because I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood for sewing. Sewing. Okay. So Shannon, I know for the OESD felt projects, OESD has its own line of felt now. So if are you doing the primitive pumpkins? Which project are you doing? I know Michelle took home a fabric kit, and she's doing the primitive pumpkins, and she's using the OESD felt. So I think you could just use like any like decent high quality felt. I don't know if you want to use the stuff you get at Joann's, but some of that is totally fine too. But sometimes you can buy felt off of the bolt. That's going to be a combination of wool and, is it wool and polyester? And sometimes I'll use that. I do have like felt that I bought. I'll show you my felt. Let me show you what I got, girl. But I feel like with a lot of times when I'm doing OESD projects, I will use exactly what they call for, because I know it's going to come out perfect. It's going to be perfect. Okay, this is felt that I got. Let's brighten this up a little bit too, right? This is from Joann's, but it's the wool. It's like, I don't know if it's 50-50, but it's part wool and then I think it's part polyester. Honestly, I can't tell you for sure, but really good colors too. Like really nice colors, and you can just tell it's like high quality, right? So this is all stuff that I got there that's going to be off the bolt, and I like that too because it's like affordable. Like you can get some bang for your buck. This is just like regular felt that it's been in my stash. So I have all sorts of stuff. This here, and I can't remember where I bought this. Oh, look. Look. Okay, this is called the wool felt palette, and I bought it from Prairie Point Junction. So this is a blend, wool blend felt, and it is, so I guess it varies from 2080 to 3565 wool ran. So maybe the stuff I got from Joann's is wool ran. Maybe that's the combination. But and then I just, because I want to have the color I want to have. I hate not having the color that I want. But this is just really beautiful, really high quality, and looks like I paid $89 for it. And but there's 100 pieces in here, so that's like $1 a square, which is like, I mean, that's not much more than you would be paying at Joann's or Michael's for the like not great quality. I mean, that stuff is okay. We use that at the store too. So I don't want to say it's not great quality, but this is like the real deal. This is like the beautiful colors, and you could use this in your quilting and in your applique. This is like nice stuff. But I don't know what you're going to need. I know for the primitive pumpkins, they were calling for two black, two brown, and two, it was like three different colors, two sheets of each, and we have those at the store, so if you need them, just let me know. The turkey silverware! Oh my god, I have to check that out. Is that so cute? Okay, here is ornament number 2. We are done. I did the stitching for the tree and the sentiment earlier, and that's going to be posted. I think I'm just going to end here because I don't want to get into the borders and like have to stop midway. But I will stitch out the borders either today or tomorrow, and then we'll piece it together and we'll be ready. We have one more to do. Next week, we are going to be doing the gingerbread one. And that one looks super, super fun. So I'm going to look at your comments really quickly, and then I'm going to sign off and go to the store. Working on cutting fabric. Yes, have everything cut, and I always do a prep video too. So, and you can do it any way you want, but I've just been doing these so long, I'm very systematic in how I do it. Oh, just so you do know, there is a cutting chart. Like, you probably have already found it and know what you're doing, but I didn't even realize there was that cutting chart. So just make sure you look, because there's one for if you're cutting all the projects, and it took me like halfway through the prep video to find it. Somebody pointed it out to me, and I printed it out and cut from there. Oh my god, you know what? There was, and I didn't even post that one yet. No, I didn't see everyone's messy room yet, but we'll have to do that. Maybe that will be a Friday question of the day. Um, Poly felt has stiffer, and you can wash it. Yeah, these you're not going to want to wash. I'm making it. All right, I think that's going to be it then for today. I will make sure that I will restart my phone and my computer next time. Hopefully I won't have these issues, and I'm going to look at my recording resolution to make sure it's as high as it can go. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. Have a great day. Be creative. Make something awesome this weekend. Make time for you, even if it's to sit on the couch. And I will see you next week. We will do our sew along. I think we can do it on Friday. I'll have to look. It's next Friday the 4th? Because if so, then we're going to be doing gingerbread Christmas. So this might be, our sew along might be something that I do over the weekend. But have a great day, and I